everyone, before we get started with today's video, I am aware that there is an update possibly dropping any minute this weekend. By the time you see this video, it might already be out, but unfortunately, I will be a little tied up, so don't expect any coverage from me on this update until later this week. From what we can gather, based on the picture and the picture alone, is that maybe CPR is coming. Ruffles himself suspects this as well. I really don't know what else this could be, and I imagine the way this will work out is that once a player is down, just like you would call for EMS, you would wait there until somebody comes up, begins to perform CPR, and revives you. Not really sure how I feel about this update right now, but I also haven't seen it, so I'll stick around and cover this update whenever I have a second. So what's going on, boys and girls? Welcome to another episode of what should be Emergency Response Liberty County. The truth is, however, that this video is going to be a little bit different. All the clips that you're going to see here are from videos that I either started recording, was in the process of editing, and then just never finished, or for whatever reason, these videos never made it to the light of day. The way this is going to work is I'm going to give you a quick little synopsis of what's going on in the scene, what was happening in the server, and then I'll just let it play throughout. I'll be perfectly transparent with all of you. This kind of video is not going to be for everyone. It's really just a voiceover kind of video. Although there is scenarios behind all of the clips that you're going to see, it's not actually me playing as if I was going to do it for YouTube, if that makes sense. Think of this as more as random gameplay. So this first scene here is kind of interesting because this was going to be a video. I was in a private server. Things weren't really popping off, if you will. There was a scene happening at the jewelry store. I jumped into a random stranger's car, which is that orange Corvette. I walked up to the jewelry store and I tried to inject myself into the scene. Nobody was paying attention to me, so I got a little upset, I got a little frustrated, and I ended up getting back into the Corvette. I told the guy to drive me to the gun store, and then I came back and I ended up taking out like 4 or 5 cops. I forget how many cops I took out, but anyway, this is going to be the clip here for the next minute and a half, and then I'll show you the next one that never made it into a video. This one here is pretty funny, and I was pretty impressed by the admin in this private server. I don't remember any of these servers, by the way. A lot of these videos may have happened some time ago that I just don't remember anymore. But anyway, what had happened in this video is I had taken out like 2 civilians and a handful of police officers. And of course, somebody ended up calling the mod on me and was claiming fail RP and everything else that I've done. All of which was true, by the way. However, when the mod finally got there, he gave me like a warning, and instead of completely kicking me out of the server or not letting me explain things, I feel like he was reading some of the things that I was typing, although I was lying admittedly. But at the end of the day, like I said, he didn't kick me out of the server. All he did was he ended up sending me back to civilian spawn and let me keep playing in the server. I believe this is the way things should be. You guys know those servers where they basically rack up warning 1, warning 2, warning 3, all in the same instance and then kick you out. That's not what this guy did. I feel like this guy was completely fair about it. And if you see your username or if you know who this is, kudos to that guy, kudos to you. But that's what ended up happening here. Please remember, I was 100% at fault here and I was lying. You guys know how I do in these private servers. This next scene here, I don't really remember what I was trying to do. I remember trying to go on a ride along with a police officer, but I think the reason why I started filming here is because I thought it was going to develop into something and it never really did. Outside of that, I also remember thinking that the uniforms in this server were really cool looking, and the fact that they had these vibrant green vehicles. Like, how often do you see that? I'm sure a lot of you will probably be able to recognize a server just by the uniform and the vehicles because they're so unique. But anyway, at the end of the day, the police officer did not let me go in that ride along with him. I ended up getting kicked out of the car. I didn't get kicked out of the server, but nothing else really developed or happened in the server, and that's probably why this never made it into a full-blown video. This next one here was supposed to be a video, but for whatever reason, I ended up getting too tied up. I forgot about it completely, and the way I work, it's a little bit strange, I'll admit. It's easier for me to film a completely new video that's at the top of my mind, that I know what I'm going to do with, I know what the tone and the theme is going to be, than to go into my archive, try to remember everything that I wanted to do with a video, and then go in on editing that. For some reason, my mind just does not work like that. Needless to say that I do have a backlog of videos that I've just completely forgot about. Again, time, Zanies. Time is the one thing I don't have enough of. But anyway, back to the video, you guys. The reason why I wanted to make this a video so bad is I remember this one vividly. There was something happening at the hospital, as you guys can see. There's a group of SWAT members going around the hospital trying to figure out what's happening. And then at one point, there's a police officer who has his back turned to me. There's nobody else around me, so I pull out my weapon. I shoot him in the back. He jumps off the balcony, and nobody knows what happened. All of these officers literally run past me in the hospital, none of them paying attention to the fact that I am wanted. They all sort of just go on about their way. I exit the hospital several times. I go back into the hospital, and at the end of the day, no one figures it out. Nobody finds out it's me. And believe it or not, at one point, I even walked by the police officer that I had shot, and he even said, "Somebody shot me, but I don't know where it came from." All along, I was standing right next to him. It was pretty funny, and this was supposed to be a video. It's a shame that I never got back to it. And if you guys watch the entire clip, you guys will see the police officers literally go back and forth, run past me several times, to the point where my wanted level disappears. It's pretty funny. This next one here was also supposed to be a video. I started recording a little late in the game, but very quickly before the scene leaves me, you guys see that person back there laying on the ground? Well, that person actually ended up coming after me with a knife. They kept on stabbing me repeatedly. I asked them to stop. They didn't stop. So I pulled out my gun and I basically took care of business. That is why they're on the floor. Subsequently, a few police officers rolled up on me and naturally they arrested me. Because I was in a private server, and believe it or not, I do roleplay from time to time. I ended up roleplaying the scene, and this guy ended up taking me to jail. What you're going to see here in a few seconds is not only do I try to talk him out of taking me to jail, I kept on claiming self-defense, but once we get to the jail itself, that's when things get a little bit interesting. I don't think this ended up happening the way I thought it was going to happen, but it was really, really cool when it did. I don't want to talk about it because this one's actually really good, and if I still have the full-length footage, I may actually just turn this into a video some point in the future. I don't know, but I think you guys will like this one. Check it out, watch to the end. Alright boys, well at this point is when the scene begins to wrap up. I will become unwanted here in a second. I will pull out my gun and I will take care of business along with my accomplice here. We're going to take care of this cop here and we are going to get in this car and we are going to drive into the sunset. Let me know if you guys like this style video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, long live the Zanies.